Imagine being trapped in a web of secrets and betrayal, where every choice feels like a matter of life and death. Welcome to Podcast by Toucans.
Today we're diving into the spellbinding world of My Husband's Wife by Jane Corry, a thriller that unravels at the crossroads of love and desperation.
This story peels back the layers on what people will risk and even destroy when obsession takes hold. We promise you a ride through tangled relationships, chilling twists, and the raw edge of survival.
We'll unpack the complicated bond between two sisters, explore the sinister depths of a toxic marriage, follow the shocking fallout from betrayal, and finally reflect on the choices that haunt us. Ready for a journey into the darker side of love?
So, let's start with the heart of the story. The sisters, Danielle and Susie. Their connection is so real, but there's always this tension simmering just beneath the surface.
Absolutely. Danielle sparkles. She's lively, social, the kind of person who lights up a room. But Susie? She keeps to herself, and you can sense she's learned to stay in the background.
That difference creates this constant friction. Their mother keeps wishing they'd grow closer, but old wounds and unspoken jealousy seem to keep them apart.
And then you add Simon into the mix. Danielle's husband, older, charming when he wants to be, but behind closed doors, it's a whole other story. Control, secrecy, maybe even danger.
Danielle's fears start stacking up. A suspicious allergy incident, a dangerous fall. Are these just accidents? Or is Simon orchestrating something far more sinister?
Desperate, she reaches out to Susie, but Susie hesitates. Is Danielle really in danger, or is she letting her imagination spin out of control?
That uncertainty leads us straight to the police station, a turning point in the sisters' lives. Susie's waiting, torn between loyalty and disbelief.
It's so complicated. She's always thought Simon was decent, maybe not perfect, but not a monster. And Danielle, well, she's known to exaggerate her own story now and then.
But isn't that the danger? Dismissing a real cry for help because of someone's history or your own doubts?
Exactly. The pressure ramps up when PC Davies questions Susie, and then Danielle storms in, furious. Their confrontation is raw, and you can feel the trust cracking wide open.
In the end, Simon is cleared, but the sisters are left more fractured than ever. Sometimes, truth and trust aren't enough to heal the damage.
Fast forward a few months, and Danielle's world has unraveled. No more fancy house or car. She's literally struggling to pay the bus fare to see her mother.
That moment when a stranger hands her a coin, it's so bittersweet. Kindness and humiliation all wrapped into one tiny gesture.
And then her phone rings, bringing news she can barely process. Simon, her ex, has just married her own sister, Susie. Imagine that gut punch.
That level of betrayal is like a tidal wave. It's not just losing a husband, it's losing the one person you thought would always have your back.
Suddenly, every old family wound feels fresh, and the story takes a turn you never see coming.
Then the plot twists again 6 months later. Susie's on trial, accused of Simon's murder. The stakes have never been higher.
The prosecution paints her as jealous, manipulative, maybe even vindictive. But Susie's version is raw. She talks about fear, about being pushed to the breaking point.
There's this haunting moment when she describes that final night. Simon shoves her, she reacts, and suddenly he's dead. It's over in a flash.
And yet, she insists she never set out to kill him, just to make him stop. It's a fine line between protection and tragedy, and now Susie is left to face the jury alone.
Danielle can't bear to watch. Old wounds and choices have led them to this place, and Susie's fate hangs in the balance.
After the trial, the sisters finally meet again. It's tense, there's history, guilt, and something unresolved hanging in the air.
Susie has changed, new look, new confidence, but the past keeps shadowing both of them. Their mother's in a care home now, and the weight of what's happened lingers between every word.
And then Susie drops a bombshell. She'd actually planned an accident to frame Simon. She was ready to use the law to protect Danielle, no matter the cost.
Danielle is horrified, but she can't escape it. She's part of this mess too. It's the kind of family secret that changes you forever.
Sometimes, love pulls us into darkness before we even see the edge.
By the final chapter, Susie's in prison, serving 15 years, but she has no regrets about protecting Danielle. That's the complicated truth at the heart of this story.
She even manages to set up a trust for their mother and pours her own pain into a novella that wins her a newspaper column. It's resilience in the face of ruin.
Even behind bars, she finds a way to give meaning to everything she's lost. And that final question lingers long after. What are we truly capable of when pushed to the limit?
Every one of us, no matter how innocent, has a darkness inside. Sometimes love and desperation can make us do things we never imagined.
In the end, it's only by facing the darkness that we have a shot at finding the light again.
Let's bring it all together. First, My Husband's Wife shows how even close families have fault lines just waiting to crack.
Second, it's a stark reminder that sometimes loyalty leads us right into moral gray zones, places we never expected to go.
And third, the book challenges us to rethink how far we'd go to protect the people we love when fear and desperation take over.
If this story got under your skin, here's a step you can take. Share it with a friend who loves psychological thrillers and talk about the choices you'd make in their shoes.
Thanks for joining us on Podcast by Toucans. We hope you'll tune in next time for another deep dive into stories that stay with you long after the last page.